The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Wow, well, you go play Newberry, you know you're playing a team that's very well coached. They're solid in everything they do, offense and defense in the kicking game. Todd Knight and his coaches do a great job. It's been a great rivalry between Carson-Newman and Newberry for many years. It's a give and a take type of game. Last year we got beat there. We got our youth taken advantage of. They beat us pretty good up front last year, and that was probably the turning point of the game.
If you look at their offense, I mean, for years, it felt like Raleigh Eldell was there for forever and a day. Mick Jones has been handed the keys to the offense. How's he similar? How's he different from?
Well, he was a quarterback a year ago when the other kid was hurt, and then played a receiver. He's a very talented athlete. He'll make plays. He's going to make plays. Maybe establishing himself more as a run threat as part of their offense and part of their plan. But gosh, they've got weapons, receivers, and they're very, very explosive at times and have been. And I think it all came together for them, last Saturday in their first home game.
You're coming off your first loss of the season. How do you prevent a game where you played pretty well, but a loss? How do you prevent that from beating you twice?
Well, that's what we talked to our kids about yesterday and talked to as coaches this morning. In this game, you got to have a short memory. You can't remember how good you were the last Saturday, or you can't remember the bad things that happened last Saturday. You got to get up and go. I see a lot of football teams that one loss cost them two, back to back, because they haven't got over it yet. So we had a great team meeting yesterday. We spent time with video and teaching and trying to make corrections that we needed to make. I told the kids yesterday, it gets down to execution. It's offense, defense, and the kicking game. And you can pick out, people want to pick out the punt return, then another punt return and two fumbles, and but you go back and look. There's a block here and a missed block there. There's a missed assignment on defense that kept drives alive. Those kind of things. So it's just football is a game of execution, and it is a one snap game. One snap can make a difference. You can look at things and say, well, those two or three, but no, go back and look at this where we should have had a first down and that type of thing.
Does the message change at all from weeks 1 and 2 now that you have been beaten to this week?
No, I don't think so. I think that's exactly what you don't do is change the message. We're not going to change from being a football team that we want them to be very aggressive. We wanted to be excited about playing, and they were Saturday night. There's no question about that. Maybe too excited at times. But you want to be excited. You want to be fired and play. We have 8 games to go. It's a long season, and right now is a great opportunity for us to be what we say we are. We get it. We've faced a little adversity right now. Now, how do you handle that? Do you come back and get over that? Get your eyes focused on Newberry, which that's the most important game right now on our schedule, and come out there and play. Turn loose and play.
Still haven't scored on an opening drive. How important is a fast start?
Oh, mercy. It was very important Saturday night when we punted the ball and they returned it for a touchdown. There's another great backup for you. But yes, we've done good after that. Come take the next drive and go score. But that one bit us Saturday night. That not being able to keep the drive alive, to go drive it and score with it. That one hurt bad. But now you whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, we want the fast start. We want them thinking, go get it.
Loss aside, how do you grade your team's ability to handle that road atmosphere on Saturday?
Oh, I was very proud of them how they handled that. That was, we got a lot of young players. Okay, that's not only they're freshmen, but they're redshirt freshmen. They're sophomores. Some of them was the first time I've ever stayed in a hotel. You know what I mean? But been on a bus. It was the kids handled the trip well. They handled the hotel. They handled the meetings. They handled the ride to Wingate. The pregame warm up was good. And then they had a great crowd there with their first night game. But I think our kids played exciting, and I think they played up, and I thought they rose up to the occasion. And, we still had a chance to win the game right there at the end.
There was some frustration on the offensive side of the ball at times. How do you as a coach try to handle that within the game to make sure that they're just focused on that next play?
Well, any time that you got the want to, you understand, you got the want to, and you don't necessarily succeed every time at the want to. You have to be able to funnel that to make it better for you on the next snap. Try to tell me the most important snap is the next snap. It is. That's not coach talk. That's the most important snap. So we've got to get them to where they understand, and they're still in the growing process. You know what I mean? We don't want anybody throwing anybody under the bus. You don't want to hear the double thumps at any time. But we're going to have kids that make mistakes, and we're going to have kids that other kids realize they made a mistake. But hey, let's grow them up and let's keep going.
You had some injuries. Darius was suspended in that first half, but came back. How do you think that the guys handled that steady stream of different guys needing to step up in different spots?
Well, I really think they handled it well. I think when you sit back and look at it of who were down, if you do that, you're going to get behind. Gosh, the world's going to keep spinning. The South Atlantic Conference is going to keep playing. They're not concerned about how many people Carson-Newman has hurt. They may be licking their chops, but they're not that concerned about it. So our main job is, hey, let's rally, and let's rally around the next one, and let's step it up, and let's go. This is an important football game we're getting ready to play Saturday.
The passing game has been probably above what you expected, but the running game not necessarily where you want it to be. How do you make sure that you're able to rush the ball effectively this week?
Well, that's the part that we talked about, the execution part of it. We're playing some different backs in there right now. A transfer that was probably the most he played, period. And you're making mistakes because you're going to make mistakes in a game. It's different than being at practice. But we've got to get that cleaned up. If we're going full speed, I'm okay. That's a haunt. If we're going full speed with it, I'm okay. But when we make mistakes where we're looking or we're hesitant about that, then that's unexcusable. We've got to get a tempo going on offense, and you'd see it happen. There would be the tempo it would go. When we came out in the third quarter, that's when I was really disappointed that we weren't able to move the ball. But we made a fundamental mistake. All right, we made a mistake, and we didn't overcome it.
Just looking at the stats for Newberry yesterday, offensively they play a lot of guys. They don't really have a guy that dominates the carries. They play a lot of receivers. What kind of challenges does that present for the defense going in?
Well, that means you've got to make sure you've got them all covered. All right, there isn't anybody that you can be overly concerned about and leave somebody open. And Newberry has always done a good job of that. It's like the two running backs from Wingate. They're balanced guys, okay? And you've got to be ready to play both of them. But when you go play a Newberry, if you're worried too much about about pass and coverage and those kind of things, then you weaken yourself about the zone and the zone read inside. So you've got to play at the top of your game. You just got to play assignments. You got to attack the line of scrimmage no matter what. Make sure that we're pushing the line of scrimmage and trying to get something in the face of the quarterback.
A guy like Jared Dillingham kind of came in and took a back seat the first 3 years, played some special teams, but earned some starts, and now in your starting rotation in the backfield. What has he done in the last couple of months and last year to get him to where he is now, and how pivotal is he to your offense right now?
Well, Jared has always been a steady performer. You never worried about putting Jared Dillingham in the game. Number one, he's going to give you maximum effort. Nobody's going to play harder than he does. He's going to be a smart, heady player. He knows exactly what the assignments are. He's a guy that around a bunch of young guys can be a great teacher and coach and encourager to them, okay, to keep them lifted up. So I was just excited about how well he played and how he got things done. He hit it up in there pretty good now.
You look at their linebacking core, Will Elm, Joe Blue are both all-conference caliber linebackers. What sticks out to you about what they bring to the table? Well,
it's how fast they play. They play fast. They're extremely quick off the ball as a defensive front, and they've got the two linebackers in there that are crowding up, and they're going to play that way with their, defense. They're a 4-4 in reality defense. They've got the alley players to take care of the pitch, and the free safety runs quarterback to pitch. So they're a sound football team. But those 6 guys up there in front for them have been dominant players. I think they either return 5 starters, something like that, and maybe 6 backups. So they're a very solid defense.
You look at your defense against Wingate, 2 all-conference backs for the Bulldogs, a line that featured 3 preseason all-conference players, and yet you limit Wingate's running backs to 3.8 yards a carry. What does that say about your defensive front four?
Well, that says that our kids are playing hard. We didn't necessarily grade that well, but they played hard, and if you play hard, you can make up for some mistakes. You can overcome those things. We still want them to be an attacking team, and sometimes when you go play those zone teams, you get to where you're looking instead of attacking, and then you get swarmed under, and you've lost the gap. So, but I think our kids responded well to that. We made some mistakes and kept some drives alive that were disappointing to all of us. But if we continue, we had some alignment problems, and that goes back to communication. So that's something we really worked hard on yesterday with our defensive staff.